For a long time, talking about money made me anxious. It wasn't just uncomfortable, it felt like a knot in my throat, a weight on my chest. I always felt like I was running after something I could never quite reach, like there was a finish line that just kept moving further away. Living paycheck to paycheck. I counted the days until my next paycheck, and still, it felt like the money slipped through my fingers before the end of the month. And with that came guilt. Guilt for spending, guilt for not saving, guilt for not understanding what I was doing wrong. I used to think saving meant living a restricted life, that I'd have to give up everything I enjoyed, grabbing coffee with a friend, saying yes to an invite, enjoying a weekend without stress. And honestly, it felt unfair. Living in fear of spending, saying no to simple joys, felt more like punishment than planning. But the truth was, I was only seeing part of the picture. Little by little, I realized the problem wasn't spending. It was not knowing why, how, and when to spend. I discovered that the fear around money came from a lack of clarity, not from how much I was making, and that saving, at its core, didn't have to feel like a punishment. With small changes, really small ones, I started to transform my relationship with money. No magic formulas, no suffering, no giving up who I am or what I love to do. And that's why today, I want to share with you the 5 habits that changed my financial life. Simple, practical things that anyone can apply, even living here in the us, where the cost of living can be high and unexpected expenses pop up all the time. More than just changing how I spend. These habits changed how I see money, and most importantly, how I see freedom. Because in the end, saving isn't about restriction, it's about choice. It's about creating space to be who you want to be, without depending on anyone, without fearing the next month. And maybe, that was the biggest turning point in my life. These habits didn't come from a textbook. They came from necessity, observation, and a little trial and error. They don't require drastic changes. They're small, daily steps that worked for me, and maybe they can work for you too. The most important part, each one gave me more clarity, more lightness, and more control over my own life. Habit 1. Track every expense for a long time. I simply didn't know where my money was going. By the end of the month, my account was nearly empty, and I thought, but I didn't even buy anything big. That's when I started writing down absolutely everything. Every coffee, every Uber ride, every dollar spent at the grocery store. At first, it felt over the top. But soon I realized how much I was spending on small things, that, when added up, became a big number. This simple habit was my first step toward regaining control. Tracking my expenses showed me patterns. It revealed where I could adjust without cutting things completely. And just the act of writing it down made me think twice before spending. Habit 2. Wait 24 hours before impulse purchases. Before, all it took was seeing something nice on Amazon or in a store, and I'd buy it. It was this mix of instant desire, stress, and that false feeling of I deserve this. And yes, I do deserve things. But do I need them? That's when I started applying the 24-hour rule. Whenever I wanted to buy something non-essential, I waited. I let a day go by. If after that time I still felt it was worth it, then fine. But most of the time, I'd completely forget about it. It showed me that many of my purchases came from anxiety, not necessity. That one-day pause taught me that desire doesn't always last, and often, what I thought would bring me joy would only bring another bill at the end of the month. Habit 3. Cook at home at least 3 times a week in the U.S. The temptation to eat out is everywhere. Fast food, delivery apps, restaurants on every corner. It's quick, convenient, but expensive. For a long time, eating out was my go-to escape, until I put everything on paper and saw how much it was draining my budget. So I challenged myself, at least 3 meals cooked at home each week. Nothing fancy, just simple meals with fresh ingredients. And to my surprise, I started to enjoy the process. Cooking became me time, almost like a self-care ritual. Not only did I save money, but I also ate healthier, wasted less, and reconnected with the pleasure of making something with my own hands. Habit 4. Cancel forgotten subscriptions. Slowly, the subscriptions started piling up. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, workout apps, free trials I never canceled. One day, I finally sat down and looked closely. I realized I was spending over $50 a month on things I didn't even use. Canceling them felt liberating. Now I only keep what I truly use and what actually adds value to my life. That digital cleanup gave me clarity and reduced the invisible weight of unnecessary spending. Habit 5. give my money a purpose for a long time. Saving was vague. I'd say I want to save money, but I didn't know what for. And when there's no clear goal, every temptation seems justifiable. Now, my money has direction. Not all of it, but a good part. It might be for a trip, an emergency fund, a course, or simply peace of mind for the future. Giving my money a purpose changed everything. It made me realize that every small saving is a step toward something bigger. And when your why is strong, discipline feels a lot lighter. These 5 habits changed my life far beyond finances. They changed how I think, how I decide, how I live. Because in the end, saving isn't about living with less. It's about living with more awareness. It's about creating financial and emotional space for what truly matters. Earning money is important, but knowing what to do with it, that's what really brings freedom. So if you're just starting out, my invitation is simple. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one habit, one small step. Maybe it's just tracking your expenses this week, or waiting 24 hours before that impulse purchase. Over time, you'll see, freedom is built with small gestures too. Dollar by dollar, you'll create a life that feels lighter, more yours, more possible. Now tell me, which habit has helped you the most so far? Or if you're just starting, which one will be your first step? Drop it in the comments, because when we share, we inspire. And if this message resonated with you, send it to someone who could benefit from it too. That's how change starts, with an honest conversation, a simple habit, and the decision to live with more freedom. See you in the next video.